Hello and welcome. This is me attempting to have better sound with what resources I have right here and right now. So you might hear my voice going in and out because I tend to move while I talk. In one way or another, I move. So thank you for your patience as I'm figuring out how to do this in a way that works for me and where I'm at right now. I'm doing that in so many areas of my life right now. Um, but thank you for joining. And if you've watched any of my other videos, thank you for giving me some of your time and energy. I appreciate it. I am here. Today has been a interesting day, and I had a moment of like reflection, like someone reflected something back to me, and I was like, I want to say something on my YouTube page about this. And I don't exactly remember what that was now, but I also trust that I've been feeling led to do a YouTube video, so here we are. Um, so I trust that it's going to unfold how it needs to. What is meant to be said will be said. Right now, I am cyclically in my luteal phase. And I just recently posted something about that on my Instagram page, some really fun information about how to approach that in the context of creation. So, creating something, because cyclicalness is not just for those that bleed, it's also for those that are living on planet Earth, because Earth herself is a cyclical being, and we are all made from Earth, right? So, you know, yeah. All of that to say, I created this video talking about the luteal phase and in the context of creation, what that looks like. And I forgot a key piece of that, which is about resting, the importance of resting and truly intentionally slowing down to really rest. And that's where I'm at right now. Woke up this morning feeling led to rest. And so I did some of my morning routine a lot slower than I think I ever have before. And it was so deeply nourishing for me and my soul and my body in all the ways. So much so that I started crying and was releasing a lot of different stuff. And basically, the whole day has been that in one way or another. Um, but in that crying and releasing, I also have been receiving clarity on what more I am meant to receive and meant to create with. Like further expanding what it is that I've already created. Um, so, and it has also required, like I said, that emotion of letting go of stuff. And I can only do that whenever I'm really slowly connecting with myself, my physical body, and allowing emotions to come up and out. Um, yeah, so what has been coming up? What is it? So the last post that I made, it was at the first quarter moon. So I'm still in the same moon cycle. Like if you happen to be watching this near the time that I post this, we are still in the same moon cycle from whenever I posted my last video, which was at the first quarter moon. And this is probably a few days, yeah, a couple days before the last quarter moon. And so we're not quite there yet, but the last quarter moon kind of has a similar vibe to the first quarter moon, except it's about letting go. Um uh, can we just, yeah, the whole process is just a thing. But anyways, this whole situation has been all about, for me, regrounding in who it is that I'm here to be in the physical world. And the lens that I look at my physical world, the way that I relate to my physical world, is through a very masculine frame of reference. I experience my internal world and my internal evolution process as being very feminine. And the way that I create, the way that I flow in my life is very feminine. but the way that I show up in relationships, the way that I relate with my money, the way that I relate with my home, the way that I relate and show up in relationships, that is all in a lot of ways. Relationships are a little bit more nuanced than that, but in a lot of ways, it's very masculine. And a part of what I have been shifting with this moon cycle is how I show up in the physical world. And doing so from a place of true alignment with my feminine side, with the part of me that I have cultivated and deepened and connected with and prioritized for years now. And I have been very disassociated from the physical world to the point where, like, I couldn't actually see my dreams physically manifesting because of that. Okay. So, all of that to say, where are we at today? Um, where are we at today? I'm looking at the area where I like had a breakdown a few minutes ago, well, a couple hours ago. And what was it about? These things just come through and I just kind of release it and move on to the next thing. It was in a lot of ways about feeling safe to really show up and receive in this world. So, really show up as myself, really be present and relating from a safe place. Because I've cultivated safeness within. And so I can show up in the world knowing that I'm safe. Like that's that feminine and masculine vibes there. And yes, that's what it was. So it all started this morning. I have some core memories of my time here, like several years ago, whenever a specific potential relationship came up. And there's so many dynamics and so many energies that were happening in this potential relationship. One of those dynamics being, I pretty soon after I met this person, I knew that this was my person in a lot of ways. And yet I chose to kind of put that to the side and prioritize flowing with whatever unveiled before me in the physical world. And carried that with me as he continued to be in and out of my life. Just from a, not necessarily from like a hot cold. I mean, it was, but it was more so just like the nature of the universe, him coming into my life and then him not being in my life. And that so hopefully that energy makes sense. Like me putting to the side what it is that I know deep down and focusing on the external potential. And the other aspect of that is holding space and having the recognition of um, heartbreak occurring and rejection being experienced. And so this is a little sensitive because I'm like on the verge of tears as I'm about to say this, but there was a point in these memories that I chose to take some space away from this person because a big trigger came up for me, a wound that I saw through him that I experienced. And I knew then I needed space to really become more established within me as an individual. Um because at that point, up until that point, I had been so focused on the external, and in that external focus there was no clear definition, there was no clear like anything. Remember, I had pushed aside what I knew. I chose not to listen to that, even though it was there from the moment that our paths crossed. And as I spent years now cultivating a sense of identity, sense of self, all of that stuff, these memories are coming back up for me to re-clarify and to not just re-clarify, but also to transform, transmute, whatever the fuck you want to call it, to shift it into an energy that is from a place of not just knowing, but from a place of joy, from the heart. So whenever I hold those memories, whenever those memories come from up here down to my heart, down to my being, that energy of like holding rejection, like because I knew that me having to step away, there was going to be, I could just feel it. I knew that there was an energy of rejection that was going to come, like that I was essentially doing that to him. And also, that energy of holding the potential and the unknown and floating with it while forgetting myself. So I can feel all of that energy in the memories. And now it's time to transition that because the memories, the frequency of those memories is still living in my body, in my etheric field, whatever, it's living in my aura somewhere. And it is my joy to get to move through that and shift it into something else. And I get to determine what that is. And I'm determining, and this is all, I realized this in meditation, BT dubs. So I received this guidance in meditation to transition it into joy. To even holding that space of heartbreak, that there is a sense, even just a twinge of joy, to be able to actually get to this point of pain and still be held, to still be seen and known, even in that, as well as having the joy of not knowing. The joy of not getting to be present. I don't, it feels so nuanced and it feels almost, for lack of a better way of saying it, ironic. It's not the right word, dichotomous or dissonant. I can't figure out what the right word is here, but it feels so opposite to really transmute that in that way. But the heart wants what the heart wants, right? The heart wants what the heart wants. So more peace, more joy, more trust, and more ease. And that is including any energy that is still in me holding the frequencies of not knowing, the frequencies of pain and rejection, and truly knowing that the joy of the heart, the joy of the Lord is my strength, right? Like the joy in the heart can get you through anything, can get me through anything. And so that means that whenever a relationship comes up into my life again, I get to practice, not just have my knowing fully present, but also even whenever things that are outside of my control happen, or even whenever I have to cause rejection, or even whenever blah, 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 all these situations happen, I can still know that there is joy here, that being held in the heart is still here. Because if you think of like the heart itself, it actually is connected to all emotions. It's connected to all experiences, frequencies, all of it. It is intimately connected to all of the body. Okay, I think that's it. Thanks for joining.